Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today's violin lesson will be on the beginning, at least the part one, of the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto in E minor. I'm using the Baron edition. They're all pretty much the same. They have little different fingerings and occasional different phrasings, but they're all good editions. This lesson will be on from the beginning down to measure 47. So basically the first page of the concerto. We're in E minor, means one sharp, relative major G major, and the relative minor of G major is E minor. It's marked Allegro, molto, appassionata. And if you know Mendelssohn, everything with Mendelssohn has got a lot of movement. It's he's got his moments, as we'll find in this concerto, but there's a lot of energy all the time. He was a high energy composer. And this opening passage up to my letter A, which is measure 25, traditionally is all played on the E string. I've heard it occasionally, mostly students would try playing it, some of the passages over to the A string. But supposedly, the legend is that when Mendelssohn was asked to write this concerto, the violinist says, I want you to write something I could start everything on the E string with that wonderful, wonderful brilliance. So that's the way we do it. Sometimes it's a little more difficult. So we start out, it's piano. Matter of fact, the whole first few bars up until letter 5 before letter A, there's a crescendo. Other than that, there's no marking of dynamics at all. But the lines seem to cry out for dynamics. So, as you probably just noticed me playing, I made a little crescendo up to that high. It's like a sob, right? And then diminuendo, then in the third bar of the solo. So I start, and also, notice that you got second position. You got to just be comfortable. You take your F sharp. You're sitting there waiting for the orchestra to play. You take your F sharp, move up a half step, and you're set to go. You're right. Just trust it. Another hairpin in there. Measure 7 through 7 to 9. Go up in 7, come down in 9. I really recommend that. Most of it could be played too straight, I mean, to me, it just cries out for more than that. Back again, like the beginning. Same thing. I really love doing a little crescendo into bar 16, and then subito piano. Such a typical Mendelssohn. You'll hear that type of harmony and construction in many of his works. Beautiful. Now, here's where the big crescendo starts. So we're getting up to where we start to being able to show off for some, left hand technique. Now, as far as fingerings go, it depends a lot. I know this from my students that it depends a lot on the size of your hand. The ideal is just a reach from the B to the G. It's not really a shift. I never really go fully into whatever position that was, sixth position, I guess. I never get up there fully. And then we're back to third position. So this used to bother me. I don't know why it bothered me so much when I was a young player, But now I'm really gotten where I just couldn't feel right about that. You know, I'm playing a 2 and then a, but it works okay now. So I think it's good. Going ahead, the next one, this is bar 14. This is for many players, this is very different because you're going down from third to second position and it's a major third. And then right back up. I recommend right back up to fourth position. Third, second, fourth. So you're really set right there. Then a little shift. Most players here will shift to first position. But for me, I don't like that because that means I have in that third beat of bar 16, I have to make that note short to make the shift. And I want to make it longer, so I stay on the A and then make the shift to the F sharp from third to first there. So if I play a little extra slide going down, but it's so worth it to be able to play that note a little bit longer, that A. A little extra expressive. Little, if you feel it. See, that's pretty straight. I prefer with the extra slide then. Now here's a place where it depends a lot. I like to play one, make it very clean, but I've heard many players do it. It's okay, it depends on what moves you. So that's a good fingering at 23. Go from a 3 to a first finger. And the way I do it, just keep it clean, keep it clean. All right, now at A, we have these triplets. I like to try to play the accents as much as possible. When I listen to the recording, it doesn't come out that much, so it's a nice idea, but so I definitely recommend to my students to make an effort to play that. It'll solidify the rhythm, if nothing else. So then on this one, this is the same type of fingering. You could do the 1 on the E. I prefer from third position to fifth, and then just open up for the 4th. And then I like to do it up, down, up. I don't, there's a mezzo forte in my part here. I just don't believe in that one at all. Because we're going down, we've already been playing very high, it's automatically going to sound a little softer because we're lower on the instrument. I just kind of keep it up there. So there's my bowing is get up, and then there's plenty of time. 4/4, just jump right into second position. That's a tricky one, you know, to feel it. You just gotta feel it in the neck, right? That's the place, right? You give everything you got going down there, and then make a subito piano. Now this passage, once you've practiced it, it's easy, but getting into it, whole step, half step now, whole step, whole step. So the 4th finger going up, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. The first finger is also an issue here. That was pretty easy, but half step there. Next one, whole step. So you're going from a half step, whole step. and then half step. So that's a great passage. Practice it slow. And then come over. You have an option here. You can either you're in fifth position. Could go to fourth position on the A string with the third finger, or you can come over to the E string. It's kind of nice to do that. Take a chance. And then fly up, probably a third finger on the high G, and then you got to go from there directly to second position. That's where the fire gets going, you know. You just got to have all kinds of passion. I like doing down, up, and so that that half note is full. And then I just do an extra up bow in measure 44. So. You want to give accents going up, not marked in the music, but it'll really bring it up. See, I just did a video about 1/4 octaves. Here's a perfect example of these, where we're not only playing 1/4 octaves, but we're playing arpeggios. So you have to be really, comfortable. You can rewind the video and watch how I touch. I'm just all the way. I'm going so fast, I don't even have time to think about it. I'm just automatically, gauging where I'm at by the rev of the instrument. As far as the tempo of this piece, I'm playing at 92. I haven't really checked at what, a lot of the great players, but it's pretty close. Let me put that on. We'll listen. See if I can. Oops. I had it. There's 92. I'll play just a little bit. You can hear. I hope you can hear that. Okay, so that feels pretty comfortable. How about the faster? Oh, I'm pushing a little. Get a little excited during the video here. So you gotta make sure I hold the tempo. And then here. I tend to like to broaden that. It's probably a natural theme to try again. Yeah, maybe that high note, if I don't hold the high note too long. It's very easy to make these little rubatos, and depending, if you're playing with an orchestra, you have to be very, very square and have to know what you're doing. You really have to know what you're doing. If you play with a piano, you can get away with a lot, but I try to prepare my students that they can play with piano or orchestra and be comfortable and have a great time, great performance. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video at this point. We're about 15 minutes in. That's a pretty quick discussion of the first movement of the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto, the first page here. There's lots and lots in this, all these great concertos, Brahms, Beethoven. I mean, the opening of the Beethoven Concerto, you could spend hours and hours talking about it. But the same with this. There's many different ways of playing it. And I'm happy to hear any comments you might have, your experiences. Write them down below, and if you have a question, I'm happy to answer it. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Hope to see you again. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thanks for listening. Take care. Have a great evening.